Welcome to Wild Tracks. Nature's creatures embark on incredible journeys of survival. Salmon battling fierce currents, wildebeests braving deadly river crossings, and penguin chicks taking their first steps on ice. Witness the raw power, resilience, and beauty of the wild. The salmon's daring journey, overcoming forces of nature. The journey of the salmon, a small yet determined creature, begins in the cold depths of the ocean. After years spent growing in saltwater, an instinctive call compels them to swim against powerful currents, returning to the river where they were born. This mission is a life-or-death struggle as the salmon face violent rapids, waterfalls, and dangerous predators. As the salmon schools move upstream, the initial challenge they face is navigating fierce waterfalls. These waterfalls, towering and seemingly insurmountable, become battlegrounds where the salmon fight for each inch gained. Every leap against the roaring waterfall is a test of resilience. Some salmon fail, only to try again, their perseverance unwavering. Eventually, some succeed, propelling themselves into the calmer waters above. A victory earned with sheer strength. However, the challenges don't end at the waterfall. In the turbulent waters, predators like brown bears lurk, waiting to ambush the salmon. These powerful predators dive swiftly into the water, using their claws to catch the salmon with astonishing precision. Bald eagles also join in from above, using their sharp talons to grab salmon mid-flight. Yet, despite these dangers, the salmon continue their perilous journey, demonstrating an unyielding drive to survive and reproduce. Upon reaching their birthplace, the salmon lay their eggs in the shallow, clear waters, a final act of life before their bodies, exhausted from the journey, begin to die. Their death, although tragic, nourishes the ecosystem, providing vital nutrients for the next generation. The wildebeest migration, the battle for survival across the Mara River. On the vast savannas of the Masai Mara, the wildebeest embark on one of the most dramatic migrations in the animal kingdom. Their journey, though awe-inspiring, is fraught with dangers. As they move toward the green pastures, the wildebeest must face the Mara River, a lethal barrier where Nile crocodiles, giant, toothy predators, wait patiently for their prey. The migration begins with millions of wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles traversing the Serengeti in search of fresh grazing lands. The journey is long and treacherous, filled with scorching heat, fatigue, and attacks from lions and cheetahs. But the true peril lies ahead, crossing the Mara River. The river's tumultuous waters are filled with crocodiles, and any wildebeest that hesitates risks becoming a meal. As the herd gathers at the riverbank, a brave leader jumps first, signaling the others to follow. What ensues is chaos. Crocodiles surge from the depths, snapping their powerful jaws and pulling prey beneath the surface. The sound of the river is drowned out by the desperate cries of the hunted. Despite the carnage, the wildebeests press on. They use their collective strength to help weaker members across, but the danger doesn't end once they near the shore. Exhausted individuals become easy targets for the lurking crocodiles. Yet the survivors reach the opposite bank, their journey continuing toward the promise of green pastures. A reminder that survival is never guaranteed, but always worth striving for. Penguin chicks, the first steps of a fragile life. In the harsh, icy landscape of Antarctica, a different kind of struggle for survival unfolds. Here, the emperor penguins, the largest birds in the world, face one of the coldest and most unforgiving environments on Earth. In this frozen wasteland, the first steps of penguin chicks symbolize the beginning of an arduous journey through life. Protected by their parents, The penguin chicks begin their lives inside the warmth of the male penguin's belly, nestled under his skin to shield them from the brutal cold. As spring arrives, the eggs hatch, revealing fragile chicks dependent on their parents for survival. However, the chick's survival is uncertain, as the freezing temperatures and lurking predators pose constant threats. The first steps of the chicks are hesitant, marked by clumsy movements on the slippery ice. This is the beginning of their personal battle against the extreme environment, where each step could mean the difference between life and death. In the distance, the shadows of leopard seals, formidable predators, approach, and a lone chick strays too far from the group, risking becoming their next meal. However, a warning call from the parents sends the chick scurrying back to safety. Over time, the penguin chicks grow stronger, learning to navigate the icy terrain with increasing confidence. As summer arrives, they shed their down feathers for a thicker layer of protective feathers, which allow them to dive into the frigid waters, learning to hunt for food and survive in the harsh conditions. Their early struggle on the ice, though difficult, shapes them into resilient individuals, ready to face the challenges of adulthood in one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. The penguin chicks, with their determination and survival instincts, remind us that even in the harshest environments, life finds a way to persist. The circle of life. From death comes new life. While these journeys are marked by struggles, loss, and survival, there is an undeniable truth that permeates nature's cycles. Death often brings life. In the wake of the sacrifices made by creatures fighting for survival, their deaths provide nourishment to other beings, perpetuating the cycle of life. For the salmon, once they fulfill their mission of spawning and laying their eggs, their life force transitions into the river's ecosystem, enriching the environment for other species. Their decaying bodies nourish the surrounding forest and river life, giving birth to new opportunities for growth. The once vibrant and defiant salmon become the very nutrients needed for future generations to thrive. Similarly, the wildebeest's journey, though filled with losses to crocodiles, also ensures that the Mara River ecosystem remains balanced. The bodies of those who fail to cross provide sustenance to other predators, which, in turn, feeds the entire food chain. This ongoing exchange between life and death ensures that the Serengeti's wildlife, as harsh as it may seem, is constantly replenished. In Antarctica, the death of the adult penguins after they have fulfilled their role in nurturing the next generation also contributes to the broader ecosystem. Their bodies, left behind in the frozen land, provide nourishment for scavengers and further demonstrate the interconnectedness of life in the coldest corners of the Earth. The circle of life, harsh and unforgiving as it may be, continues to fuel new beginnings even in the face of endings. The unseen battles, the struggle for existence beyond the visible. While the most dramatic elements of these survival stories are often the struggles of the creatures battling the elements, predators, and physical barriers, there is an equally important, yet unseen struggle that occurs beneath the surface: the internal battle to survive, to adapt, and to evolve. For the salmon, this battle is one of physical endurance. Each leap against the waterfall, each stroke of their tail through the turbulent currents, requires more than just strength. It demands sheer willpower. The struggle within their own bodies pushes them to their limits, making each journey a feat of internal resilience. As they fight the water's pull, their muscles grow exhausted, yet the drive to continue overwhelms their fatigue. For the wildebeests and other animals in the Great Migration, the internal battle against hunger and exhaustion often becomes just as deadly as the external threats. They must keep moving, constantly searching for food and water, all while fighting the mental and physical toll that the journey inflicts on their bodies. Even the smallest misstep can lead to death, and yet they press on, propelled by instinct, each day carrying them closer to the green pastures. Penguin chicks face a similar inner battle. As they learn to walk and then swim, they must build not only their physical strength, but also their confidence. They are constantly pushing past the doubt and fear that can paralyze the weak. Whether it's braving the icy terrain for the first time or facing a leopard seal lurking beneath the surface, the chicks must learn to trust their abilities and instincts. A lesson in nature's perseverance: never underestimate the power of life. In the end, the incredible resilience shown by these animals teaches us valuable lessons. Nature's creatures, despite facing overwhelming odds, don't give up. The salmon continue swimming against the current, the wildebeests march across the savanna, and the penguin chicks take their first steps on the frozen ice, all displaying an unwavering commitment to life. These journeys remind us of the fragility of life, and yet they also highlight the tremendous strength and will to survive that exists within all living things. Every leap, every step, and every fight against the odds is a testament to the unyielding power of nature, constantly adapting, growing, and thriving. The stories of the salmon, the wildebeests, and the penguins are more than just about survival. They are a profound narrative about the spirit of life itself. In the most extreme conditions, creatures continue to find ways to persevere, to grow, and to push forward. It is this spirit of perseverance that binds all life together, showing us that no matter how difficult or dangerous the journey, life always finds a way to continue. These tales of struggle, resilience, and triumph over death are not just about the creatures themselves, but about the broader message of hope, strength, and survival that we too can learn from. Life, though fragile, is incredibly resilient. And as long as we keep moving forward, like the salmon swimming upstream, like the wildebeests crossing the Mara River, like the penguin chicks stepping into their new world, we too can overcome the obstacles that stand in our way. The power of instinct, nature's blueprint for survival. The stories of survival in nature are not just about brute strength or sheer chance. They are rooted in the powerful and instinctual behaviors that have evolved over millions of years. For each animal in these harsh environments, there exists a deep, inherited wisdom, an instinct that drives them to push forward, no matter the cost. Take, for instance, the salmon's extraordinary ability to navigate their way back to the river of their birth. Despite the physical obstacles and predators they face, they are driven by an instinct so strong that it overrides every hardship. This instinct compels them to spawn, to ensure the continuation of their species, even if it means sacrificing their own lives. The same unyielding instinct governs the wildebeests' migration across the Mara River, a journey that is hardwired into their DNA. This instinctual need to survive and reproduce ensures that life continues, no matter how dangerous or difficult the path may be. Similarly, the penguin chick's survival is deeply tied to their instinct to stay close to the warmth of their parents, to learn the ways of the ice and the sea, and to endure the dangers lurking in the frozen wasteland. It's this instinctual drive to survive and thrive that gives them the courage to take those first tentative steps, even when faced with the cold, predators, and the harsh realities of life in Antarctica. This deep-seated instinct is an extraordinary force. It compels each animal to take part in the delicate balancing act of life and death, ensuring that, despite the odds, the species endure. Whether it's migrating through the perilous plains of Africa, fighting through rapids and waterfalls, or surviving in the freezing temperatures of the polar regions, instinct ensures that the drive to live will always push these creatures forward. The role of environment: adaptation to harsh realities. While instinct plays a critical role in survival, the environment these creatures inhabit shapes them in ways that are nothing short of remarkable. The salmon are adapted to life in the river and the ocean, where their bodies are finely tuned to navigate treacherous waters. Their muscular bodies, designed for endurance, allow them to leap and swim with precision against the currents and through the obstacles that stand in their way. In the savannas of the Masai Mara, the wildebeests' hardiness and speed are crucial for survival. Their hooves, perfectly adapted for long-distance travel across the plains, allow them to endure the grueling migration. Their sharp eyesight helps them spot predators from miles away, and their social structure ensures that there is strength in numbers, reducing the risk of an individual falling prey to the predators lying in wait. For the penguins, the cold environment has shaped them into expert swimmers and divers. Their bodies, covered in a thick layer of feathers, help them conserve heat, while their strong wings have evolved into flippers that propel them through the icy waters. Their sharp instincts enable them to work together in colonies, ensuring that each chick is protected, even as the colony faces the constant threats posed by predators both on land and in the sea. Every species featured in these stories has adapted uniquely to their environment, developing physical traits and behaviors that enable them to thrive against the odds. It's this incredible adaptability to their surroundings that ensures that life continues, even in the most extreme conditions. The natural world is a testament to the power of adaptation, where each creature's survival depends on its ability to evolve and overcome the specific challenges posed by their habitat. The role of community, strength in numbers. Beyond individual strength, one of the key factors in the survival of these creatures is the strength of their communities. In the case of the wildebeest, their survival depends on the herd. As they make their way across the Serengeti and face the Mara River, the collective strength of the group is vital. Wildebeests rely on one another to overcome obstacles, and when they are under attack by predators like crocodiles, they use their numbers to protect the vulnerable members of the group. The older wildebeests, seasoned by years of migration, often take the lead, guiding the herd safely across the river and through the plains. For the salmon, while they swim alone, their strength comes from the sheer number of them. By traveling in large schools, they increase their chances of survival, as the predators are overwhelmed by the quantity of potential prey. This tactic provides a form of protection for each individual, as they rely on the group to overwhelm their enemies. The penguin colony offers another profound example of communal strength. Although the penguin chicks begin their lives completely dependent on their parents, as they grow older, the community becomes their safety net. The parents take turns keeping the eggs warm, protecting the young from the freezing cold and predators. As the chicks grow stronger, they begin to learn from the adults and gain valuable lessons in survival. The shared responsibility within the colony ensures that every chick has the best chance at survival, even in one of the most hostile environments on Earth. These examples highlight the importance of community in the natural world. Strength is not always about the individual. Sometimes, survival comes from working together, whether it's a herd of wildebeests crossing a deadly river or a group of penguins huddling together against the cold. A never-ending cycle, nature's eternal rhythm. As these journeys unfold, it becomes clear that the struggle for survival is never truly over. Each species faces challenges, loses lives, and suffers defeats, but in the end, life continues. The cycle of life and death plays out in an eternal rhythm, where new life emerges from the lessons of the past. For the salmon, death is part of their purpose, creating new life before they succumb to the journey that has defined their existence. For the wildebeests, even in the midst of tragedy, the migration continues, with the next generation growing up to take their place in the never-ending movement. The penguin chicks, having faced down the harshest conditions, will eventually join the ranks of their parents, continuing the cycle of life in Antarctica. In nature, every death is a lesson, a necessary part of the balance that sustains the world. Every leap over a waterfall, every successful river crossing, and every step taken on the icy terrain contributes to the great interconnected web of life. Through resilience, instinct, community, and adaptation, these creatures ensure that life will continue, each generation building upon the successes and struggles of the last. In the end, these stories of survival are not just about the battle between life and death. They are about the undying will to live, to continue, and to evolve. They are a testament to the strength of nature's creatures and the eternal rhythm of life that moves through the world, unstoppable, ever-present, and unyielding. The unspoken heroes, nature's invisible forces. As we witness the bravery and perseverance of animals in their fight for survival, it's important to recognize the often invisible forces that play a crucial role in their journeys. While predators, harsh environments, and extreme conditions may seem like the primary threats, there are other unseen challenges that affect these creatures' survival. Take, for instance, the immense pressure of climate change, which is subtly yet dramatically reshaping the landscapes and ecosystems these animals depend on. For the penguins in Antarctica, the changing temperatures and shrinking ice sheets create an even more perilous environment. The once stable ice floes are retreating, leaving the penguin colonies more vulnerable to predators and environmental disruptions. For the wildebeests of the Serengeti, the unpredictable patterns of rainfall and grazing grounds are shifting, forcing them to adapt their migratory patterns and sometimes making the journey even more perilous. These subtle yet powerful shifts in the natural world serve as silent adversaries that continue to shape the fate of these animals. However, there is also a glimmer of hope in these challenges. Many species, including the ones we've discussed, possess remarkable adaptability and resilience. Through evolution, they have developed the ability to cope with changing conditions, be it through altering migration routes, changing reproductive cycles, or adjusting behaviors in response to environmental changes. These subtle shifts, although often unnoticed, are a testament to the power of nature's ability to adapt, providing further evidence that life finds a way to persist, even in the face of unseen forces. The power of conservation, protecting life's legacy. The story of survival in nature is not solely about the strength and resilience of animals. It is also about our role in preserving the delicate ecosystems that these creatures inhabit. As we witness the challenges faced by wildlife, it becomes clear that the survival of these animals, and countless others, is intrinsically linked to the choices we make as a global community. Conservation efforts are now more important than ever. From restoring habitats and protecting migration routes to reducing pollution and addressing climate change, there are ways we can ensure the survival of these species for future generations. Protected wildlife reserves, stricter environmental regulations, and global conservation agreements all play a crucial role in safeguarding nature's fragile balance. The success of conservation efforts is already evident in some areas. The populations of gray wolves in Yellowstone National Park has risen due to protected habitats and active conservation programs. Similarly, the restoration of wild salmon populations in some river systems, aided by improved water quality and sustainable fishing practices, has helped them thrive. These efforts, while still ongoing, demonstrate that positive change is possible and that we have the ability to protect and restore the delicate ecosystems that sustain life on Earth. The wild never stops. From epic migrations to fierce battles for survival, nature's stories are endless. If you love the wild, don't miss out. Subscribe to Wild Tracks for more breathtaking wildlife adventures. Hit the subscribe button and join the journey.